Hey guys, welcome back to another episode of season 1 Crime or Nap. So, let's get started with three different stories that I came across on Reddit today. So, let's go. So, first story comes from Coffee Carcass. So, I just discovered an ex staff member had been threatening to do so many things for years. My employer kept it from me. Do I have a suit? In 2022, one of my staff created a hostile environment and then quit. While he was employed, I raised claims of harassment with my company, who just closed them without investigation. This year, my employer started offering me security without any details. They offered me escorts to and from the subway, NYC, and other options like working from home. When I asked why, they said there was no threat at all, but they had some disturbing emails from that ex employee. I have this in writing. Finally, I had enough of the random messages from HR and demanded information. They obtained an attorney who revealed to me the ex employee had been defaming and threatening me for over 2.5 years. He had emailed over a dozen of my ex colleagues repeatedly, 120 plus emails, with numerous false accusations and threats to my safety. I just found out Friday the lawyer my company hired is recommending 8 criminal charges and wrote the NYPD that I was afraid from being kidnapped, whatever, and lots of things. But I wasn't because I had no clue this was happening. My lawyer said I have a clear case against the ex employee, but do I have a case against my company? Edit. In reviewing the comments, I wanted to add context. This ex employee had a history of squatting in the dark, waiting for me around the office, literally sitting under the motion sensor lights without tripping. Those were the complaints I raised with the HR, and they did nothing while employed. While HR told me they were receiving disturbing messages, all I had to go on was that he could be squatting in the dark waiting for me. In my kitchen in front of my apartment, yes, I was genuinely terrified, and I couldn't take any action because I had no details to bring to the NYPD. Yes, I asked for details. After he quit, I experienced negative retaliation without realizing that was what I was experiencing. I went from golden employee to losing my team in 6 months. I now find out my manager was receiving vulgar, perverted, and harassing messages claiming that I harbored the ex-employee. When I transferred departments, my ratings went right back up. So this came from Coffee Carcass, as I told. So let's think of this in a global situation and an Indian level situation. So even though this is coming from New York City, it happens in India as well. So what happens when this things or like things similar to this happen to you? So first of all, reviewing this incident, they have that the person who has posted this information on Reddit has already approached the HR of their organization that this is what is happening, but they did not take proper action. So when that person was eventually fired, this person, the person who has posted, let's call them original poster, which we generally call it as OP. So OP had received so many uncomfortable situations that was raised but was not properly escalated, and after that the person who was fired who still kept disturbing the company environment. So this is what is happening. So can the company be held liable? Of course, yes. The reason being that first thing, they did not take proper action, which led to them having uncomfortable working situation. So, as they said, this person has had a creepy kind of behavior. They were sitting under the motion sensor. If you know, this motion sensor is extremely sensitive. You guys, like, even if you move like a little bit of your shoulder or whatever, it is extremely sensitive, and they were still able to bypass that. So, you can think the level of creepiness this person was, putting the OP through. So, the reason the company was not disclosing all this information to the OP properly is that I think they actually knew this ex-employee was doing so many bad things to this person, but they did not want to get involved. See, many companies, what they do is that, oh, this person is disturbing you, you must have done something, or this person is just disturbed, or this person is cool. Like, they just try to label that person something or the other so that they can just move out of the liability. Because when this person takes some action, Either party, if they win or lose the situation, they can sue them saying that this is a defamation case or whatever. This is the main reason, like many companies do not take actions for your complaints, especially when it comes to serious allegations like stalking or like harassment or like that situations. So now this person, this HR department or the higher departments, they are receiving direct impact from the person who they have fired. So now, out of embarrassment is also one thing is there, and also they want to protect that evidence, because probably this person already had given in writing. I don't know much into it, but probably if they had written the complaint in writing, they can prove that, see, my claim was proper, but this company has not taken proper action. So this is why they did not share the information properly with them. So yes, you have a suit. So this is a crime verdict. Crime in sense, whatever this person OP is going through is seriously not okay. So yes, it is a crime. And let's move on to the next question. So this question comes from Frodo773. So this person is saying, my roommate took my rent check and altered it to pay out themselves instead of the landlord. Will they face legal repercussions? From the title, I would say yes. Let's read more. I reported it with my bank and they reversed the transaction, so I got all my money back. I have my roommate admitting to altering the check over text. The check was for 1,115 dollars. Again, this is not an Indian case. Let's go out to global level and Indian level. I spoke with a police officer who said I could call the financial crime unit if I wanted to formally press charges. My roommate sees no issue with what they did. If I report, will this case be pursued or is it a waste of time since I got the money back? So let's explore on a global level. Global level, different places, different situations will happen. Few organization, I mean, few banks will reverse the amount, and so that they don't have any problems with the customer. And a few courts will say like, okay, anyway, you got the money, like a penalty little bit, you can just lay on that person who has cheated you because they have misplaced your trust. But in India, how it will look? So let's consider this situation. Okay, I am giving some 10,000 rupees, let's say 10,000 rupees to another person to pay the rent. It may be my roommate or whatever it is. It is between us, between an agreement, be it oral agreement or a written agreement. We are just entering into an agreement saying that this is what is going to happen to the 10,000 rupees. And the other person just takes that 10,000 rupees and spends it on whatever they want. But if that person is going to reimburse saying that, you know what, like I have spent it, and this is the amount, I'm just giving it back to you. See, that transparency is there means probably this person can forgive them, but still they can just press charges. But what happens, this person is entering into an oral agreement, and after that this person is getting to know, this person can press charges. And if they have not received the reimbursement, they can say like, see, because of this person not paying the rent, this is what happened to me. For example, they have faced humiliation from the landowner saying that, "Hey, you know what, like you're not paying rent, like, you know, you're this, that." Like, see, in India, what happens is that many times when you're not paying proper rent, landowners will say, like, I mean, homeowners will say, okay, you are this, that. They may get into personal kind of jabs. So that is humiliation. So you can move forward with that. So, in a nutshell, if that person's action has cost you something, you can press charges. You may ask that nothing has happened, this person anyway like took the money, and after that like they have used it, but I anyway had backup money to pay the rent, no humiliation was done. In that case also you can proceed with charges. The reason being that you trusted someone and gave that amount, and that person just played with your trust, so they broke the trust you kept on them. So charges can be pressed. Okay, and yes, this verdict is that this is a crime. Let's move on to the next question. This comes from DDW1313. Teens in apartment complex across the street claiming we supplied them with alcohol. Should we get a lawyer? From the surface of it, I would say yes. Don't trust teenagers many of the time. They may get you into serious trouble. Be an adult, think properly. So, okay, we are a professional couple with kids living in Oregon. Again, this is not in India, and we live across from mid-sized affordable housing complex. We give a single mother with a young child or used empty cans so that she can recycle them for cash. Okay. We were greeted by two police today claiming there was an accident. Sorry, there was an incident involving teens drunk driving and destruction of property, and that the teens claiming we supplied them with alcohol. We did not. I have never spoken to anyone from this complex other than the one mother who has a preschool age kid. No teens. We have given her a trash bag of empty cans about 8 to 9 times. Occasionally, there are empty cider or beet cans, but it's mostly soda or carbonated flavored water. We have our statements and obviously denied we supplied anyone with alcohol. We won't be donating these cans to anyone, but especially anyone in the complex. What should be our next steps? Neither of us have ever had any legal issues. We don't want the headache of dealing with this uh, with two young kids around the holidays. Should we hire a lawyer? Thanks in advance. Oh, okay. I have so many questions, but let me summarize if you did not listen to it fully. So, this person has a habit of just giving empty cans to one person who has, a small child out of generosity or whatever it is, so that they can recycle. This is what has happened. So, when these people are donating this, similarly, at the same time, the donated bottles, right? These are used by other teens in the area, so they just use that bottles to have some alcohol, and they just got into some incident. Okay, this is the too long didn't read kind of summary for you. So what happens now? Let's see it in a global perspective. Global perspective, in many places what happens is that many people think that, okay, if you're giving bottles or any alcohol related items to anyone, you should make sure it is properly disposed. Okay, you should make sure it is not going into the wrong hands. But 99%, as far as I have read and heard, your responsibility stops the moment you transfer your ownership to another person. Yes, you have to make sure it is properly disposed. See, for example, if this person is disposing these bottles and that mother had some teen and these people are actively giving it, and that that person, that teen has access to these bottles, there will be some liability, because you will be expected to know where that bottles are going. But few people will argue anyway, you're just dealing with the mother, it doesn't concern that person, or however that person is going to use that bottles. But majority of the time they will not be having any liability. Let's think of Indian scenario. In India, let's think I am that original poster, I am the OP. Let's consider that. What happens if I am just going to give my bottles to recycle to someone, and after that, some person is getting into some incident because of those bottles? Nothing will happen to me or to the original poster, because see, as I said, similar to many other places in across the globe, my responsibility stops the moment I transfer the ownership of my bottle to another person. See, for example, if I am just going to give my bottle to a teen directly, saying that this has just 1 ml of alcohol, don't use it, something, or just even though I've cleaned it thoroughly, few people have that capacity or smartness to scrape off that little bit of liquid to just use it. That's how addiction works, right? So I have to be careful. And also, if I am going to throw it in the bin, I have to make sure it is properly sealed and all that. But consider it as if I'm throwing it in the garbage, or giving it to someone, my responsibility ends there. I am not supplying it to the teenager directly, so there is no liability on this person's part. But then, if that person feels that there should be an advocate representing them, it's good to go, because many people, as I said, will argue just for the sake of this compensation or anything. They will say okay, fine, you have influenced a minor to drink this, drink that. So yes, you might be saying okay, our drinking is not in our culture or whatever it is. Even though it is not a part of our culture, many people have just pushed that narrative that this is a part of culture. So let's not go into the culture narrative, but this exists as a part of the society where people drink. And I'm not going into that debate right now, saying that whether they should drink or not. But if you're disposing your bottles properly, you should be having no problem. So I would recommend this original poster or the person if you're having similar problems, or in future it should not happen to you, but in case it happens, just whenever you are discarding your bottles or anything that can be misused, just take a video of how you're disposing, so that if it comes back into your house, or like anyone else is misusing your bottles, you can clearly say my responsibility stopped the moment I discarded properly. Okay, so no crime from this person. And that minors, I don't know how they got access to it, but I have so many questions. As I said, how did they track back that this person is having that bottles, like bottles, like for example, I know few brands. These few brands, like it's common, until unless this person has just engraved saying that this is my bottle, this is my address, and with that fingerprint, like they cannot deny it at all, like this person is the owner of the bottle. Where did they track that information? Seems like someone is intentionally trying to sabotage them, or like those teens were just feeling very playful and they were just like, you know what, that person gave me that, they just wanted to change the liability. I have so many questions regarding this. That's why I said always record the way you're disposing these kind of bottles. Okay, so no crime from this person, or there is no crime surrounding it. I don't know where that person, I mean, where that bottle went just across and how it landed. So, verdict is no crime. See you in the next video. Bye.